Hey y'all, we just got finished fishing Rollins November 4th and 5th for our club tournament. And speaking of the club, November 19th, Puda Creek, Berryessa is the Bass Reapers Open. It's $160 a boat when you sign up day of. Sign-ups open at 4:30. Blast-off's gonna be somewhere around that safe light time. So get there, sign in. We'll be more than welcome to have you. And it's a good tournament, good family-related stuff.
We got a raffle at the end.
We have a raffle at the end of that. There is a Humminbird 10-inch.
Helix 10,
and a 360, Humminbird 360, donated by Gone Fishing Marine, and a bunch of other prizes. But that's the bigger prize of them. So hope to see you there. And Rollins Lake, let's get started. Friday, we fished together in the tournament. It's a small lake. We figured 2 boats. Fish in the same areas, we might as well just condense it down to one area since we're gonna probably fish the same kind of areas. Friday was the best day out of all of them. They were super active. Unfortunately, the tournament's Saturday, Sunday. Friday, up one of the creek arms, we had deep cranks going. This is the Dual Realis crank. G8720A. You had deep crank. What was that?
That was a tactical bass and
tactical. I think it's mirror shad or something like that.
Yeah. Cranking it hard.
Cranking it hard. There's a bunch of bait up the arms, right where that cold water comes in and that warm water meets. There's a bunch of pond smelt in there, and they're just crashing through that pond smelt from time to time, and we're ripping this through there. The other thing we were doing was dust spoons. I'd say this is dust spoon, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think so. Close enough. This is the Sierra color, and then he was also throwing a blue color.
Yeah. Everything was working. Like
everything was working. We were throwing drop shots. We were throwing A-rig. Everything was working on Friday. It was basically just focusing on the bait areas, and we didn't crack too many fish, but we did play around with them for a little bit. Yeah. Anything to add to Friday?
No.
And Saturday was weather-wise basically the same
as Friday.
It was sunny. It got warm real fast. It got up into the 70s. The mornings were like 40s, somewhere around there. So it had like a 30-degree swing in that day. We went up to an area that we've done well in the past. The fish weren't quite there. They were set up deeper. They had kind of moved around from the week before when I pre-fished. They kind of pushed around. That morning bite was really crucial. We did not get to capitalize on that, but we did scramble. The only bites we did have was actually an alive shad, and I had it on the Bass Union darter head with an alive shad on it, but it was the hologram shad, not this bluegill color. Dragging around that dart head. You had some bites.
Yeah, we're seeing fish on forward scan. We're drop shotting a lot of our drop shot fish on that Jackall watermelon candy. Sorry, Steve. Was throwing it out and dead sticking it, just letting it hit the ground and don't move it, right? We got a bunch of fish on that. We saw some active fish in some of the spots where bait was, and I ended up doing a drop shot Ned rig combo. So I was fishing like a Goby Bryan or a deal, the deal. In the shorter ones, it didn't really matter. On the bottom, and then a drop shot, pretty good size up, right? Like 1.5 feet, 2 foot. And one of the fish, they would follow pretty much anything down, and if you popped it, they'd eat it. And
it trigger them.
Yeah, it triggered that instinct bite.
Yeah.
So we did that a few times. I got some Ned rig fish on that, and then
that's in deeper. That's like 40 or 35-ish, somewhere around there with that pond smelt down below. And the fish are over the top of that pond smelt.
Pushing them around, yeah.
Pushing them around.
I also picked up A-rig, and I started throwing A-rig, and I will tell you that it was getting eaten. There's a lot of short strikes and a lot of follows, but I did end up putting a couple fish in the box from the A-rig for weigh-in.
And then that's mostly the morning, and then the afternoon we were kind of running out of options, so we decided to run to another area, which is the marina across the ramp from where we were. There's a good little area there, and I was throwing drop shot in the Sorry Steve and literally dead sticking it. Like, cast it out, let it hit the bottom, line laying across the water, boat's moving real slow, and then just after 10, 20 seconds, reeling it up, and they were either there or they're not. If they weren't there, I'd reel it all the way in and then fire out again. A lot of fish this weekend were following baits but not committing to them. And I think what was happening with these is that it was down there for so long it would bug them, they just turned back around and eat it and just finally pulled the trigger. Bigger fish of the day for us came off of a point up one of the arms, and it was the same thing. And actually, he was throwing an A-rig off the front. And he goes, hey, look, on the forward scan. I ran up there, dropped the Sorry Steve on him, and then I watched it like go down with it, turn around, and then kind of come back again, and then start to swim away. And I said, well, screw it. I walked all the way to the back of the boat, watching my line with it coiled up on the surface, and all of a sudden I see it start to take off, just reeled down, set the hook, and that was our biggest fish of the day. But I mean, a lot of it was not bad. I definitely have if I was to do it again, what we would do, I am gonna do another video after this video, and I'm gonna break down, I'm basically gonna start the launch ramp, and I'm gonna go all the way around the border, because it's not that big of a lake, it's 900 acres. Go all the way around the border telling you where each of the structures that I saw are.
And how it breaks down.
Like a familiarization of the lake and how things lay out on that. It's not a highly populated lake. I do know Yakabas is going there in February, the first weekend of February, to a snow lake. That'll be interesting for you guys. But just a breakdown of it, and then in that breakdown I can basically point out some of the places that I'm talking about, or that we're talking about here.
Sunday,
what we should have done and what we did do were two different things. We tried running down a lot of things. We did not end up filling a limit on Sunday. What we did catch them on was the Demiki Armor Shad. I think this is PV Silver in 3-inch. He was throwing like a 2.5-inch. I think a very similar color, if not the same color.
Trying to match up that pond smelt that we found.
Pond smelt. The main key of the whole weekend is matching pond smelt. If you look at the bluegill, baby bluegill, it has that color line in it that kind of gets pretty close to it, and this definitely was a color that was working for multiple other boats. They were talking about this color. And then this was again kind of just dropping it straight underneath the boat and shaking it. He figured it out.
I got bored watching him look at it, so I just started shaking it, and all of a sudden it was loading up. And then we started duplicating that in an area, and we caught a good amount of fish. Just some weren't big enough, right?
It's a lot of shorts.
It's a spot lake, right? There's a ton of spots. There's some big spots in there though. The big fish for the weekend was like a 3.7.
Yeah, it was a 3.7 spot.
Yeah.
I don't think we saw any largemouth weighed in. We did see some people talk about that they caught short largemouth.
Yeah.
But they didn't weigh in any largemouth. And then I don't think, did we have any smallmouth weighed in? There was some shorts that they talked about.
Yeah,
so it was predominantly spotted.
Spotted bass.
Weights were not amazing. The winning weight was 9 pounds or 9 and change.
Yeah.
Good bag for the weekend. Can't say we'd have 9 pounds if we went back and did it again, but we'd been close. We would have at least got closer than we did.
Yeah. We ended up with like 6.5, something like that.
6.5 for 5 fish, and that was, we were mid-pack.
Yeah.
We definitely weren't the bottom. And then like the spots that were just above us were within 0.4 of us. Like, there was a 9-pound bag, a 7-pound bag, and then a 680, and then a 670, and then a 660, and then a 650. Like, they were all tight to each other.
Yep.
It's all about that kicker. If you watch that video, I'm gonna break into the kicker and the ideas that I have for that, that next video. Anything else to add to that?
No, hope to see you guys at the Open.
Hope to see you at the Open. Hope to see you on the next video. Again, that's Puda Creek, November 19th. We will be ready for admissions at 4:30 a.m.
Yeah,
Blast-off's gonna be somewhere in that 7 o'clock.
We'll be sitting at the table. Come say hi.
Yep.
Talk to us. Pull the numbers. Let's see where you guys gonna end up.
Yep. And then
I'll personally sign the check for you guys.
Yeah. Come show us how it's done on Berryessa. We'd be more than welcome to have you guys there. And if not, there's a raffle. You could literally drive up for the raffle if you want.
Yeah.
Other than that, until next time, I hope you get them. I got net them. I netted them for you. I'm fucking smack the shit out of them.